Alright, what's up, guys? Fuffin here. And how are we doing? Hope you guys doing pretty decent. I know I missed the stream yesterday. Gotta move my mic real quick. But, you know, it happens sometimes. Doing my best to try and stream like 5-6 days a week. But do what we can. But I'll pull up my League client right now so we can get it going. And we plan on the PBE like we've been doing, and it'll be good. So as always, we'll hop over to the client. And then also, as always, we can do our little stat upgrade. Or not stat upgrade, stat update, I should say. Alright. For that, we'll just hop in. Alright. Anyway, how are we doing today? Hope shit's going well. But we're up 4 subs and over 100, or almost 180 something watch hours. So that's pretty decent. Definitely pretty decent. I was reading some info on the patch notes for the PBE. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, it's getting slightly changed. Keepers are better now, even more. Alright, we'll go for tier. Yeah, they're really trying to make keepers a whole lot better. Our con looks crazy good. Let's see.
One blade, one purpose.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We got a little bit of stuff going on here, but
I have no equal.
On the prowl. I will sow fear.
Embrace the night.
yeah, I'm not super sure what I could do with this. Ideally, I just slam Locket, but I feel like Locket is really not really the thing that you slam anymore. I think the items are way too good. Oh, this is keepers.
Deny me no longer.
So, I think we give Jarvan this, we give Rakan this, give Diana this.
Armed and ready.
This guy's got Siphoner already. A little bit unfortunate, but I don't really think it's a big deal. I don't know. Oh, that Nasus is absolutely destroying me. Vanguard, Wukong. I'm not really feeling it, honestly. And I would also rather sell things for gold as well. So that's about what we'll do right now, and then we'll see what's up. Because I have all these half items, so like I haven't completed any items yet, so. Very unfortunate. Okay. So we could.
They aren't gonna like this.
Some Elderwood, Keeper. I'm not entirely sure what we could go for here. It might possibly be selling the Diana and just picking up the shop. Yeah, actually I'm going to do that. Gives me the most options for stuff at least. Realistically here, we're probably going to go for a Crit Glove. It's on a 3 cost, so that would be cool. If not, I'd go for sword. We just need something expensive, honestly. Heck, I'm early. This is when I'm trying to do the streams a little bit. I'd like to do them around this time, but I kind of woke up a little bit earlier, and then I decided, fuck it, I'll stream a little bit earlier. I already made my breakfast. I had some steak tacos that I fucking made, so. Alright, well, we have Keeper chosen now, so. The real question is, Hand of Justice? Nah. It's 4 Elderwood. That's 3 mage. We'll do this. Not sure if it's strong anymore, but we'll do it. KFC tacos, yuck. I didn't even know KFC had tacos. I won't lie to you. I had no idea KFC had tacos. The only tacos I like are from these well, actually I don't even eat tacos from like places. I make like my own tacos by just buying the skirt steak and grilling it. Special menu? Maybe. I don't know. I also don't really go to KFC. So, who knows? Could be special menu. I just could not, you know, be buying it from there. So we have 3 elder right now, and this is 2 more. I'm willing to pre-level here. Right? Am I? I might not. Hitting 6 elder would be cool, but I'm not. I don't think it's like required. Yeah, no. I think the only thing I've eaten from KFC is just like the chicken box or whatever. Like the cheap $5 boxes. I'm gonna pre-level. I'll pre-level just because I think I get a lot more out of getting 4 costs 2 turns early than the extra gold or whatever. We probably can even run Annie here. Maybe, nah. I actually like the brand. Brand stuns. Just grilled some steak this morning out in the freezing cold. And there you go. Alright, so I could also already have mage spat if I really wanted to. It's giving me a lot of mages. I might as well hold them. I don't think the 1 extra gold's gonna, like, save my life. Keeper Chosen's definitely decent, though. This guy already has a fucking Aatrox and 4 Vanguards. So I don't think I'm gonna beat him. But as far as the rest of these fights have been going, I'm not doing horrible. Okay, we hit a cannon.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we'll just do this. I'm not really willing to give up anything at the moment, except for maybe the Irelia. Irelia can go. I'll grab the Vlad. This guy's a double jeweled gauntlet already. God damn. I feel like I'm low on items. Hold up. He had 3 complete items. I only have 2, plus a spat. That guy has a lot of fucking items already. Doesn't even know. Okay. So I'm looking to possibly go into a variant of Elderwood or Mages. I mean, this looks like it could be some variant of like Sypho Divine though, so I guess I'm not like completely writing that out. What's the best way to learn this game? Memorizing item builds into what first, or should I learn team comps? So I think the best way, I mean, besides, you know, the dickhead answer of like just playing, is like, you can learn what is like good and like how you can get there. But the best way to learn the game itself is just to try and, you know, like get to things that you want to get to. So like if you see like someone doing well with, let's say in this set, Aurelian Soul or something like that, which this is the new set that's going to be coming out soon. If you see them doing some cool shit, try and see how you can get to it, and then that'll help you understand, like, I call them routes. It's just the champions and, you know, items and things of the sort that it takes to actually accomplish something in the game. And it's just fun to try and experiment how you can get to these endpoints of the game. Like, I really enjoy trying to get to things like in the live server, I just try to get to like level 9. So I basically did my best to learn. I'll see if I can turn my volume up. Okay, so that should be better. Okay. But yeah, so basically, oh yeah, all good, all good. But yeah, no, basically it's just trying to get to a point in your games where you can do something like that you're enjoying, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. So like, you know, getting to level 9 or whatever, for me is really fun because I like playing all the cool fun shit at the end of the game. So I just did a lot of like playing and trying to learn exactly what I could do to optimize my way to get there with as much health as possible, and then I just developed my own like play style around it. There's a lot of people who will play like trying to be at like the lower levels and only playing like 1 cost reroll builds, or there's people who enjoy a certain type of build and then they'll force it every game, and then there's people who play what's called flexibly, which is just you literally play whatever the game is giving you. So if you get a bunch of cultists, you end up playing cultists up until you get something better. If you get a bunch of AD items, well, then all of a sudden you're going to play a comp with AD, you know? So those are just the general, like, I don't think it's particularly good. I mean, it's fine to, like, learn builds and all that, but there's plenty of times that you'll be playing and you'll be looking for 1 or 2 champions and you will not find it. And then not being able to find those 1 or 2 champions, you'll be, you know, maybe a little bit angry and upset and, like, you know, under the thought process of, all I needed was this 1 champion to complete the build or whatever, and then I would have been fine. When in actuality, you could have gotten rid of 1 of your other champions and then put in 2 different champions, and then, you know, you could have like a better chance. Anyway, it's kind of hard to describe without like a specific example, but it's mostly just like my biggest philosophy with the game is like don't let the game dictate how you're going to play, and don't let shit like online guides tell you how you can play and how you can win. Just try and like play what you can and learn the actual strengths of individual champions, and then you can play like you could play builds with like 1 or 2 synergies that can beat out a whole lot stronger builds that you're fighting against. You know, it's just about doing what's best for that specific moment in the game. We're gonna get rid of this now. I have no idea what I'm going to try and play here.
I'm here to party.
Could be going for some variant on mages still. Could be going for something else. We have possibly Elder Spat now, so. Alright.
Their bones will wet my blade. I'm here to party.
Alright. I would want to be rolling more for a Chosen here, but I kind of don't have a lot of options, so we're just gonna chill. This could still be a mage build, but I'm not entirely sure. Because most of my stuff, like here, looks like it's just gonna one-hit shit, but I'm a little bit less happy about the items and things that I'm getting.
They aren't gonna like this.
Their bones will wet my blade. This is all.
Okay, so we can get rid of you. You can go in. There's like 15 different things I could get, and then I could possibly stabilize. Gotcha, so I just need to keep playing. That's what my buddy keeps telling me. I'm gonna play over 12 games. No clue what you're doing. Yeah, it's definitely not too easy, especially in the beginning, to like really get a grasp on things. But like it's very intimidating. But like the reality is to like, cause if you want to win, because you say you're not having fun losing, if you want to win, then I would say just copy and build. But if you want to like learn the game and actually, you know, like gain more skill at it, you're going to have to lose. Because when you lose, you will realize the things that don't work, and then it will allow you to, you know, not have to deal with those again. But if you're not willing to lose, then, you know, it may not be, at least at the moment, in your best interest to, you know, try and learn. And it's not bad to not try and learn. It's just that, you know, at this moment, you may not be needing to learn as much as you just want to win first, and then you can have a better understanding later. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So this is definitely going to be some variant of Elder Wolf. Yeah, no problem. And I hope that you do enjoy playing the game. I know it can get super fucking annoying and shit when like you're not able to win especially when you do play for a while. It took a while for me to actually like learn literally anything about this game, so I 100% understand. But you know, with time, you'll definitely get it. It'll just take time, and then it's all about sticking to it for the most part. I'm doing decent. How about you? A little bit congested, as always, but besides that, I mean, nothing really to complain about. Okay, so what's the plot here?
Show 'em what you can do.
So could be 9 Elder. 9 Elder plus legendaries. Good, just trying max sharpshooter, triple rated blade, Nidalee. It's an interesting. Yep. Yeah, Nidalee is a. I don't know if she's as good anymore, which is kind of sad, because I really like Nidalee carries, but I know she's still absolutely hilarious to be running. I think I just have to slam GA here. I'll put it on Vygar for the obvious reasons. Eventually he'll get sold anyway, most likely. Unless I get like another spatula, in which I'll just probably make some variation of Mage Spat and then put this shit back in. Yeah, 3-star Nidalee. Yeah, definitely. I enjoy like reroll Nidalee builds sometimes. She's like super funny, cause she'll just one-shot shit. I think if I one-shot this Katarina, I win. But if not, I don't. Alright, never mind. I definitely do. Just punched her once in the fucking jaw. This is a toxic, like, in-game chat with these people. Oh my god. Why are they mad? Okay, so... Let's see. Alright, so... I'll probably hold this for now. Yesterday, double IE Jin. He did 10k easy. Are you talking like Infinity Edge, like Last Whisper, or are you talking just double Infinity Edge? Because I was under the assumption that Infinity Edge was a unique item. Let's see. So... This is most definitely Redemption. This is most definitely Zephyr. So I'll make the Zephyr no matter what. I'll just put it on fucking Lulu. No, I'll put it on Rakan since I have 2 in the shop.
I'm here to party.
Double Infinity Edge with Whisper. Interesting. They could have definitely made it no longer unique. I remember it being unique relatively recent. So, who knows? I don't run Infinity Edge that often, so if I see one, I'll check it out real quick. But yeah, I was under the thought that IE was unique. But if they made it no longer unique, then I have a lot of builds I want to try out, because Infinity Edge is fucking nuts if you stack it. Good morning, stream. Good morning, Eduardo. Alright, so pop this up. Okay, so we can make their con. I'm not gonna chase that. Alright, well, we hit a Samira. I guess we can run it.
Let's make this fun.
I don't really think it does anything for us. At least not yet. I'll remove her the fucking Vigar so we can get. Alright. Okay. Never mind, I'm not gonna remove her the Vigar. I don't actually think Samira works in this case. Alright, I'm believing in you, Set. I'm believing so hard. Easy. Not even close. Alright, so now I'm gonna remove her the fucking Vigar. And then I'm gonna roll here for what's his fuck? Ornn. Okay, no Ornn. Okay, we're gonna do this. We'll give blue buff to you. We'll give GA and Zephyr to you. We'll give this shit to you. And for Set, we'll just give a Jewel Gauntlet. So this is pretty much Set Elderwood fucking carry. Okay, well, the fucking Ornn would be beautiful here, but I'm not expecting it. So if we don't get Ornn, we can go for, I guess the, what's her fuck, Xayah? Could also be the Locket. I'm definitely going to try the Xayah, might as well. I really don't know Xayah items. Yeah, Set's still buggy. That was because he picked up an Olaf, and the Olaf did not want to go. Did not want to go. So, yeah. Okay, so this has got to go. So we have 9 Elder now. You can go, you can go. I don't know exactly what fucking items are good on this bitch, so we're just gonna do this. I guess we'll give you GA as well. And Redemption can just go on like Lulu, I guess. I'd rather have Redemption on Lulu than anyone else, I think. Yeah, Set just fizzled his ult there for some reason. Boom. Okay, he fizzled his ult again. Hello? Yeah, they were supposed to change those things. Like, I understood the first time why Set fucking fizzled his ult, but, like, those subsequent times didn't make any sense. Yeah, Olaf's skill makes him immune to crowd control. So that's 100% why. But I didn't understand the second one. Knock him down. Oh god. Riot really wanted to make 3 costs that strong to where you could just 3-star them like that, but you just can't. You just can't. It just loses to set 2. I feel like maybe it's just better to put in a last brawler at the end of this. I mean, I'm gonna still pursue to try to go like level 9. I'm really fucking poor, so I don't think it's super possible. But like, I'm gonna still try it. This is so fucking trash. I really, really would enjoy picking this Saya up. But then, if I want an item... Okay, we're gonna have to just do this preemptively.
Okay, so we're doing
Sucks. Definitely sucks. I feel like blue buff is probably fine on Saya. We'll put Ludens on, what's his fuck, though? No. Because like, if Ornn makes a good artifact item that can go on Xayah, I don't want it to just not be able to go on Xayah because I have a Xayah 2. I think Xayah 1 with better items would be better here because I can still go into Xayah 2 with better items. Alright, give me my item. What do we get? When the wearer casts their first time for the spell each combat, they gain 100 mana. Okay, so yeah, this is literally... She's going to cast her spell nearly instantly. And actually she could if I got rid of the GA. And then she's going to restore, what, 30, 20, like 60 mana immediately. So she's going to ult like 3 times consecutively. So if the fight lasts longer than 3 Xayah ults, it's no longer worth it. But if it doesn't, then just watch how fast this mana is going to gain. She just ulted. Her ult comes back. And now she's gained her mana all the way back. She ults again. And then her mana is going to gain all the way back again. Did Set already? No, Set didn't even go and do his push-ups yet. Okay. Oh boy, he's back. Nuking entire teams. I don't know if, like, these people survive long enough for me to go level 9. Alright, well, we hit level 2 Xayah. So it's possible to DKO these people, but I guess we'll see. Because I'm going to go level 9 next turn. And then just pop in literally whatever. Mana isn't supposed to go up like that. That's what this item does. It will restore 100 mana over 8 seconds, which is 10 or like 10.5 mana or something a second. So, because blue buff will instantly give you 20 mana, and then after you cast your spell, this will give you 100 over 8 seconds. The second she casts, she'll immediately be at half mana before her ult even comes back. Yeah, her ult comes back and it's like 40% mana. Then she'll ult again. Remember, Xayah has like 120 mana for her thing. So she's ulting 3 times. For reference, Set has 175 and ults once a fight. So ults 3 times for the time that Set should ult like twice. Alright, well, we win. Legit thought 100 instantly, no. Yeah, over 8 seconds, which is still ridiculously fast considering that Xayah jumps in the air and becomes untargetable. So there's like a second. She gets like 10.5 free mana because she's invulnerable for like a second. GG. Yeah, Elderwood is still like the easiest shit to fucking fall into at the end of the game. Most definitely. Most definitely. Especially because shit like Rakan is really good. Like, people really sleep on Rakan. And, like, I looked at the patch notes, too, and he got buffed. Like, he wasn't bad before. I just never ran him, but he definitely wasn't bad. But, like, keepers and shit are better now. So, this shit is way better. And, yeah. Yeah, Set. The fact that I gave Set Elderwood Spat plus Jeweled Gauntlet and Death Cap. Yeah, that'll kill shit. Because he'll game those Elderwood stacks while he's going to do his push-ups. That's why Elderwood Set's absolutely fucking nuts. Going up in views slowly but surely. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm doing what I can. Doing my best. I've been slacking a couple days because I've had some personal matters come up since the first of the year. But, like, you know, I'm doing my best to stream at least 5-6 times a week. I was doing good for a while. I streamed for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. And then, you know, there was like a couple, you know, days missing. But, you know, I'm back on the grind now for the most part. If I'm missing any days now, it's usually to make videos because I have to redo my entire complete guide to TFT for the new set. So that's been a nightmare I've been working on. Because I have to, you know, show, like, the Lucky Lantern systems. I have to show the new systems, you know. I have to show some of the new strategies that I think are good. So there's a lot that I've been working on in the background. Which is why I haven't been able to stream for, like, 9 hours like I was before. But, you know, overall, I think the content will be, you know, pretty good. Hoping that it, you know, still makes up. But I'll be happy. I'll be happy to remake the complete guide anyway, considering it's my most viewed video at like 17,000 views in like, you know, 2-3 months. So I'll be very happy to remake that because hopefully people will watch that video as well. I originally wasn't going to because there isn't that many differences between the sets. But then I said, fuck it, because there's enough to talk about. Also, you guys like this visual bug that's on the PvE when you play the default map? Like how it's super dark, and then you go and run up here, and all of a sudden it turns on the light. Alright, well, we hit a Yumi. Wow. That's horrifically unlucky. But I guess I'll take it.
Every web, a masterpiece.
We'll just do this. Carry Elise time. Dark mode in TFT, huh? I like this, like, visual bug. I think it looks really cool. But, like, then you come up here and it's like, you know, someone turn on the lights. And it's, like, only when you're, like, up here in these tiny little areas. Alright. Well, we have Locket start again.
Every web, a masterpiece.
Yeah, I don't really have anything here. I mean, I could be going for Vanguards, which might actually be better. Yeah, I'm actually going to go for that. I'm going to go for that because I don't have, like, another Keeper for the Elise, and I don't have anywhere near Cultists anyway. Plus, I already have 2 more Elises, so worst case scenario, and I just pick up one of those. But I think Vanguards are way better anyway. Especially because I already have, like, a Yumi. This is the exact same opening I had last fucking game. I'm so sad. Okay, so we're going to go with this. This definitely doesn't seem bad. Just found out TFT's on mobile. Yup. I'm not personally a fan, but, I mean, I've gotten first on it before, so that's cool. It's a lot less it's a lot less, like, easy. I mean, for lack of a better word, easy, I guess. It's a whole lot more, I don't know, intimidating or something. I don't know. It's a lot less easy to use. This is a brawler. No, it's a fortune. Okay, it's a chosen. Yeah. There was a guy who, I think in set 3 or 3.5, got first on mobile. Like, he was a mobile exclusive player. Duelist chosen. I cannot use that.
Show 'em what you can do.
So it is possible. It is definitely possible to, you know, do good things while just playing on mobile. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 10 gold here. I'm gonna make 10 gold here. I just don't want to get rid of the anti-pair, but I actually don't have anything I can use the anti-pair for anyway. I'll make 10 gold now. And then we can put in Dragon Soul, worst case scenario. And then we'll just give him this, I suppose.
Swiftly.
We'll just buy up the shop. Give that to you. I guess we can give this to you, and we can give this to you. But ultimately, those last things don't really matter. Actually, I don't have a chosen. I can pre-level here. It sucks to give up all these juicy 2 costs. But, like, I'd very much prefer a chosen. It's, like, usable. Alright. We're just gonna grab this. Keep it easy. Is there any way to make Duelist work late game? If we're talking live, yeah, you just need to have an item holder for someone with Lisa and items, and you need to put an Exile too, so that your Yasuo becomes relevant again. Because your Yasuo will become very irrelevant in the mid to late game due to him just losing power compared to people getting 2-star 4 costs and 5 costs. But once you get a Yone in, it makes Yasuo stronger. But you will get countered early with the count that you're talking about. The blue buff Teemo shit. 100% will counter you.
Wolf strikes.
But, you know, it's all about getting other things too. Like, if you have Rapid Fire Cannon Callista, then, you know, blue buff Teemo doesn't really do much to you. And if you have, like, Yasuo as all your item carry, usually you'll get fucked pretty hard. But once you get to late game, if you haven't used up a lot of gold and have been able to, like, position... Because, okay, Duelists, you absolutely need to learn, like, the positioning of Duelist. Because there are Duelist comps that are really, really strong just by positioning. Like, the same team that is on, you know, Duelists can win or lose matches just depending on positioning. So a lot of that is absolutely monumental. Okay, well, we have a Lulu, so I think we win. I assume Lulu's still absolutely fucking broken. I could be wrong. We're gonna sell for gold. Because we can. And I'm not gonna slam any items right now. It's like I could, but I'm not going to. Not in this scenario. But yeah, just basically, duelists are all about huge power spikes and then trying to maintain those power spikes. They're not really like gradual power spikes like a lot of other comps. And again, positioning is huge.
You'll see more with your eyes closed.
Purge the unjust.
with them, so I will be like randomly muting for the next couple minutes. It's a pretty important call, so I do apologize. I am still here playing, reading all the stuff, and I'll be sure to get back to everything, but I just absolutely had to take this call, so I do apologize.
This is all so intense. The night shall consume them.
I have not tried any Elderwood Dragon Soul comps. I don't think there's a lot of things that coincide with the builds. Usually when you want like comps with things that like have things in common, you want to find like similarities. So I think running like 6 mage with maybe some Elderwood if you have an Elderwood spat, or 6 Dragon Soul with 6 mage might be better. But I don't know if Elderwood and Dragon Soul would fit particularly well. You want to find one person to carry. So if you're running mages, it's usually going to be Aurelion Soul. And you just kind of go from there. I need to definitely get rid of this Tom Catch, though. But I would usually just say, go for, you know, Aurelion Soul carry. And then out of that, you can go for 6 Dragon Soul, 6 mage. Or you can go for like 3 Elderwood, 3 mage. Or like, it's not 6 mage, it's 5 mage. But still.
Alright, thanks so much for your patience.
Ashes, they all fall down.
Every web a masterpiece.
Yes, yes, yes.
Am I not magnificent?
Weak-willed fools.
I'm here to party. Trial by fire. Let me at 'em.
Bristle seems hungry today.
blade.
Crack like a tail.
Awaits. From the shadows.
I go where the trouble is.
I am God Killer.
So fucking sorry for that. Very, very important call I had to take. So I do apologize. I don't know how many of you guys are still here. I do not blame you for leaving. I mean, I was just kind of sitting in these calls for like 10, 20 minutes, and before that, I mean, I was just losing the game, so I definitely get it, but I'm going to take my time now and, you know, address all the questions that I had missed. So, let's see. Thanks for answering new questions, absolutely. I talked about the Elderwood Dragon Soul comp. Let's see. YouTube's a little delayed, yeah. Go Lizzo's Taco, yeah. Plat 1, I'm wondering if the cards scale linearly by cost or exponentially by cost. I can never tell. Maybe something in the middle. If you're talking about just champions usually are going to be more strong the higher cost that they are, just because of the way that the balancing has worked. The thing that the people who run TFT have been wanting to do is, you know, obviously, if you have a 1 cost, you don't want it to be stronger than a 2 cost, because if you get a 2-star 1 cost, it's 3 gold, and a 2-star 2 cost, it's 6 gold, and then you go all the way up to 15 gold at 5. So they want, you know, more expensive things to be stronger, but there are definitely cases where like a 1 cost that you get to 3 stars is stronger than a lot of champions up to 4 costs that are 2-starred, especially depending on items and synergies. The best case of this is probably Yasuo, where he's pretty strong on his own for a while, but when you put in Yone doesn't get much from Exile 2, but Yasuo gets a huge power spike from it. Things like that. But it's usually pretty linear. I wouldn't say exponential. There's definitely certain champions that once they get a couple items, they're pretty much like unstoppable, especially depending on synergies. But I would say more linearly than exponentially, because I think that, I mean, the way that TFT works really well is that you incorporate a bunch of every cost into your build mostly. You know, if you play Enlightened, most of the time you're going to have a couple 1 cost, a couple 2 costs, maybe a couple 3 costs, a few 4 costs, and then a 5 cost. You know, it's a good balance to have, and you also realistically can't afford like an entire 5 cost team up until the end of the game. So to maintain yourself up until you were able to afford a more expensive team, you're going to have to actually be able to survive playing as strong of the lower costs as you can. So it's a big balance between gaining strength from the beginning of the game and being able to maintain it, and then at what point do you need to sell your weaker things to keep up with the lobby that is selling their weaker things. No Russian, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, if you guys are wasting your time in here, I feel bad about, you know, taking calls, because, you know, time is valuable. But, you know, I'm just writing down some more information pertaining to my call. Okay. I'm just going to have to handle a little bit more of my bureaucratic bullshit real quick. And then I'll be able to get back into the games without having to worry. But again, if anyone has any questions or anything, I'm definitely willing to answer now. I can do both at the same time. I have my chat on my phone, and I can definitely see what's going on. Oh yes, multitasking. It's what I do. I mean, The problem is the people who I've had to call and get through, it literally has just been like they call you and then they will call you back and you have a very, very short amount of time to be able to answer them because they'll call you once and then they'll call you again, and if you do not answer those calls within like 5 minutes of each other, you have to wait 2 weeks. And I just cannot wait another 2 weeks on these things. So I do hate that I have to do this, on stream, but unfortunately, it's just a necessary evil at this moment, because ironically, doing this will help me out to actually, help you guys with being able to keep more content up. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense and I'm being very vague on purpose, but you guys will hopefully be able to understand at some point. I also have some story times I want to tell at some point on the channel. I just don't know how I want to go about doing it. What I mean by that is I have this really weird dude who just keeps fucking messaging me, and I have a bunch of stories for it. Currently, I've been buying and holding a Thresh and Vayne at my bench at all times to give me a smooth transition to 4 Dusk late. Even it puts me at 1-2 gold behind on the next interest threshold. Is that dumb, or should I just take the extra gold? So that's very dependent on your situation. If you have really good Riven items, then it's definitely not bad at all. But you usually want to have someone to hold your Riven items. So let's say that you started the game with 2 vest and 2 cloak. Worst case scenario, those are your opening items. So you'd make Bramble Vest and Dragon's Claw, and then you'd put it on someone like Hecarim to hold. You would try to put in Thresh with that, and then you try to put in Vayne. But if you have something stronger in the form of Brawlers, it's usually pretty fine to sell your Thresh and Vayne to make gold if it's going to keep you behind. Like, if you're going to be behind on gold, like, right before the carousel, I would always sell them. because the theory is that unless you have the ability to put it in within 3 or 4 turns, you need to get rid of it if it stops you from having gold. Now, if you're at 51 gold, you can hold the vein forever, because that doesn't matter. That's completely fine. But once it starts to harm your gold, that can be an issue, because then that thresh becomes more than 2 gold. If you're holding a thresh in a vein and it costs you 1 gold for 1 turn and then maybe 2 gold the next turn, then that vein is now worth 2 gold and that thresh is worth 3 gold. And that's just too expensive for the unit. And usually at the earlier levels and all that, you're going to be fine to find another one. And also when you roll down, like, you're going to roll down at level 7 realistically for 4 costs, but the 4 costs only have like a 10% chance of actually appearing. 10, 15, I forget what it is. But your 1 and 2 costs and 3 costs all have monumentally higher chances. So even though like it might be good to hold on to those 2 units, if it's going to cost you gold, it'll actually be worse for you, because later when you roll down, you're going to have less gold to roll, because if you lose 1 or 2 gold, that can be a roll. Or if you're losing, let's say you lose a total of 4 gold. If you lose a total of 4 gold by holding a vein and a thresh, then you lose 2 rerolls at level 7, where you could be finding your Jin and your Riven to be able to transition into Dusk. Meanwhile, while you have that extra 4 gold, you might also find the vein and the thresh, because statistically they're actually much more likely to appear in your shop than the units that you want to roll for. You just have to passively pick them up when they're not going to cost you gold, and then you can look to it. But then the issue comes from if you immediately hit like an Elderwood Ash at level 7. Then now you've held these Dusk units for a really long time, and now you're not even using them. So now they kind of have wasted a lot of gold and also aren't getting used. So you can almost feel pressured to use them if you hold them and waste gold. But the thing is, you just want to have a lot of gold so you have the most options for when you have higher chances of getting things that you can actually use. That's really the hardest part of like maintaining health early, because you'll end up using a lot of gold and then you will have a lot of gold to really spike when you need to. But I would never be holding them, because eventually they'll come back. They'll definitely be coming back. Sorry for all the questions. I have no problem answering questions. I know a lot of streamers have some sort of stick up their ass about answering questions, but like, I make TFT guides. Why wouldn't I be answering questions? Like, I make videos to educate people, so I have no issues giving you, my point of view on, the decisions I make in games. I have no issues with it. I'm not offended and I'm not hurt about it. If I was, I would tell you guys, but it's completely fine to me. I like it. Don't get to pick the brain of those better. Yeah. I mean, I do my best to try and stream a lot, but it can be, a little bit difficult. And plus, a lot of people have very weird ways of, kind of going through their processes. I don't know how else to describe it. Before I made my YouTube channel, the biggest thing was that everybody had this really weird way of like saying, oh, you should learn things, which was just like watch streamers and see what they're doing. And I just never understood that, because like I can watch a rocket scientist work, but it doesn't mean I have any fucking clue what's going on. And that just, that just doesn't really, like, I never liked that. So then, I just decided I would be trying to, show people how to do things from an actual, like, good way, I guess, for lack of a better term. I wanted to show people, like, actually break down the concepts behind choices that I would be making. Still trying to multitask a little bit, but yeah, if you have any other questions, I'm definitely down to be answering. How do you decide when and what items to slam? So basically, you want to go for a balance between what is going to win in the early game, or like what's going to be strong, like where you need your strength basically is where I go for it. It mostly comes with like, let's see. I guess the easiest way to say it is like, if you have a really strong team early and you want to keep winning, you're going to slam items. Like, I always slam items at the beginning of the game. There's very few chances where you don't. But you also kind of need to work toward specific items for yourself. So my entire playstyle that I play revolves around getting blue buff, Hand of Justice, and Guardian Angel for Yone. And getting to level 9 and getting a Yone in and winning the game. That's my entire playstyle. So I go for tiers. And thus, if I can get a blue buff or a Hand of Justice early, I will immediately slam it. In addition, I try to grab champions that can use those items. Things like Teemo. It will also allow you to, like, if I happen to get things like, let's say, a bow and a belt. So neither of those items work in the 3 main items I want to get. So literally any time that I get those items, I slam a ZZ Route portal. If I happen to get an extra belt, I might hold on to it, because if I get a Negatron cloak, which is also not in my items that I want to build, I will immediately slam a Zephyr. Depending on your team, if you have like a Divine opener or like a bunch of brawlers, you can slam things like Locket. You can slam things like Zeke's if you already have your Guardian Angel. Same thing with like Titan's Resolve. You can slam Titan's Resolve. Basically, you're just slamming items to stay alive and beat people out. Because there's people who are going to be greeting 3 components and they're going to be trying to, stay alive and stay strong. But I'm just constantly slamming items, and that means that even if my team isn't as strong gold-wise, like maybe I haven't spent that much gold on my team, the fact that I have all of my items on units is giving me more value somewhere else. So even if I am taking a loss, it's like a 1-unit loss, so I'm losing 2 health, instead of when I beat someone in a 5-unit loss, they're taking 10. And at the end of the game, basically if I take 5 fights of 2 health, and they take 5 fights of 10 health, they're down 50 health, and I'm down 10. And so that's my playstyle. I play very aggressively, very on the throat of my opponent, and I'm constantly switching my team for something that has maybe a 1 or 2% stronger variant. Because if it's going to be a close fight, I want it to be a close fight in my favor. Or if I'm beating people, I want to beat them by the absolute most value that I can, so that at the end of the game, when they're level 8 and have 0 gold, they have to roll down nonstop. And because I've built up, they're at 30 health, I'm at 90. They have to beat me 5 times really hard. And I can let them, because I'll go down to like 50 or like 40. So they'll be like 30 health, assuming that they win all 5. Most of the time they'll lose 1 and they'll be at 15. And they have to roll the entire game at level 8. And then me, I just take that 50 health because I'm at 90. I can go down to 40 health, and then I can save all my gold up the entire time. And now I go to level 9 with 50 gold. So the end of the game looks like this guy who's just not trying to get last place, because there's a bunch of people with 15 health who have, 0 gold at level 8. And then there's me at level 9 with 50 gold. And then when I hit that point, I will sell everything that I do not run in a generalized build, and then I can get chosen Set, chosen Yone, chosen Kayn, and then I can redistribute my items. My 3 items I have pursued to go on Yone will go on Yone, and then Set will get things like Jeweled Gauntlet or extra AP items. Ezreal will get 80 in attack speed, and Kayn can get literally any other items that I can't use, and that is perfectly fine. And then at that point, there's not a lot of teams that can really beat that many legendaries in the game with those many items, especially with chosens in them. And then I'll run things like Morgana for Dazzler and Enlightened. I'll run things like Shen for Adept. And it's really, really hard for people to beat that level of the game, especially because at that point I still have maintained a health advantage. Yeah, great rule of thumb. If you have 4 items, 4 components, slam something. I try to do it at 3. But 4 is definitely... You should never have 5. That's definitely... Absolutely should never have 5. Because at that point, you're just losing a lot of value kind of everywhere. And it could be a little bit bad, at least, in that sense. Thoughts on the aura items? I assume you mean like the Locket, Chalice, and Zeke's. I think they're very good. They can give you a ridiculous amount of value. You just have to not sacrifice positioning for them. So ideally, if you're playing something like Divine, where they run 5 units in the front line, Locket is really good because you can just slam it on a Jax, and then all of a sudden your 5 units that you're already going to have in the front line are, now they have a shield. Or, Sharpshooters is the exact opposite, but it's in the back line, and that's why Zeke's is good, because they're already all standing next to each other. But once you start positioning way too many things badly, like if you're running like Enlightened and you're putting way too many things like trying to surround a Locket, that's when it's bad. And that's the biggest thing I see people have a problem with, is when they'll make a Chalice and they'll intentionally position things poorly to try and get the most value out of them, when in reality your positioning should come priority before everything else. I almost always prioritize getting more value instead of getting like the traditional, like, oh, you have a Locket, make sure all 5 spaces are filled, or oh you have a Yone, make sure nothing's touching it. There's been plenty of times where I'll stick a Yone right next to something that is 3 Chalices, because once that Yone ults, it's going to one-shot the entire team. You lose out on Exile, but you can still, you can break the rules. There's definitely the rules that the game will tell you, things like don't put anything next to an Exile or fill all the slots that you can. Those are just guidelines. And thinking as fluidly as you can is a really good way to get good at the game, because you are no longer letting the game tell you what to do. You're letting the game suggest you, and then you're making your own decision. You can be like, okay, well, Exile gives me half health a shield, but is that half health a shield, if it has a value of like 10, is that value of 10 better than the almost double death cap of damage that something with 3 Chalices has? And is there anything better I can stick that 3 Chalice thing next to where I can get both value? Or is my Yone that's going to instantly ult and kill the entire team in one hit better, because it's not even going to get hit at all, to where it's going to go down to half health, where that shield would be relevant? So if that is the case, and you can just one-shot the entire team with those Chalices and all that, then that value of that might be 11, or it could be 20, or it could be 50. Now, if you only have 1 Chalice and you don't have any items on Yone, then that value of 10 might outweigh the value of 1 that bonus damage might get you. And a lot of that really comes from playing with the numbers and really seeing when things are going to be worth it. Or alternatively, just kind of like plugging things up a little bit. How do you decide to try to go for top 4 versus going for the win? When you have the chance to go level 9 or 3-star something that is worth a damn, you can go for top 1. But most of the time, you're just going to be playing for top 4, realistically, unless you have a pretty good start. The way that I do it, because I do the whole going to level 9 strategy, is if I go to level 9, I'm playing for top 3. If I'm going to level 8, I'm playing for top 5. That's pretty much it. Because if I'm too low health and I have not played my early game well enough to only go to level 8 and roll, there's no way you cannot get a level 5 chosen at that stage of the game. You have to be level 5 chosens at level 9, or 5 cost chosen at level 9. So when I get a 5 cost chosen, usually it's pretty fine that I can play for top 3. So you get a chosen set, it's basically like a set with a death cap. So it's not that much, but it's like a set with 2 rods, like a set with Jeweled Gauntlet. You get that chosen set, and it's really easy to get top 3 against most teams, especially if you've already made it to level 9. But when you're at level 8, you're pretty much rolling for... Honestly, when you're at level 8, you're playing something traditional. Like if you hit a Hunter Ashe, you're just going to play some Hunter variant. If you hit a Divine Warwick, you're going to play some Divine variant. If you hit a Keeper Riven, you're going to play some Dusk variant. So that's where you're going to try and play for top 4, because you're going to be playing those teams, but with items that you're intending for legendary champions, which is where there's an issue most of the time, because the fact that you slam items all the time means that you never have good items for any team, but you have just okay items that are keeping you ahead of the game. But eventually, everybody with the best in-slot items are going to hit the champions that they go on. And if you're not able to counter that by hitting the level 5 champions, you will very quickly bleed out, and that's where you just have to salvage it. You have to try and find a 4 cost that's going to sustain you, and you just need to try and buckle down. And honestly, when you're playing for top 4, it's less of you winning a bunch of fights and just surviving long enough to where you don't have to fight the guy who's absolutely stomping the lobby. Because usually in those cases, there's just one dude who high rolled, he's killing everybody, he's at 100 health, and you just have to beat everybody else slightly more and survive as much as you can, so that, you know, if you have 50 health, you fight that top guy and he takes 15 health every time, you can fight 4 times. But for the guy who's 30 health, he can only fight him twice. So it's literally the whole thing about, you know, if you're in the forest with your friend and there's a bear chasing you, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You have to be faster than your friend, because your friend's going to get eaten by the bear first. So that's basically how you try to play for top 4s most of the time. You're just literally trying to survive long enough to where everybody else gets out, and then you're basically going to be killed next. But, you know, if you greed too much, because playing for top 1s or playing for wins are very greedy. You have to be very greedy. So that's why you have all that health, because you can lose 50 health. If you have 90 health at the end of the game, you can lose 50 health and save all your gold, and you can get to 50 gold and then just use your interest gold to level. You gain like 25 gold of value, you know, for your health. And then if someone else has 50 gold and they try to greed like that, they get an 8th. So that's usually the plan of action I go into it with it. Happened to me 2 days ago. 5 guys left, and we were all sub 15 except for the leader, who was around 70. I thought I had the second strongest board. Matched with the leader, got wrecked and got a 5th. Yep, that will 100% happen. And that's just unlucky for the most part. But you know, if you would have greeted too long, there's a very good chance that you would have gotten 6th or 7th or 8th. So getting a 5th there is perfectly fine. You know, that's just, you chalk it up to that dude's rolling the lobby, and a 5th is better than, you know, nothing. But, I mean, there's been plenty of times where I'll play, and then I'll get a 6th, even though there's only 2 people left after that round. Like, everybody knocks each other out or whatever, and then maybe I get a 6th or a 5th, and then, you know, if I would have lasted one more turn, I would have gotten a 2nd. So, those things will happen, but you also have to realize that there are definitely times where, you know, you have that situation, and then you don't get matched up against the top guy. So then someone else basically is like, oh shit, now I'm the slowest one in the race against the bear today. You know, so that happened to you last time, and maybe next time you don't fight that guy for the next 2 turns and you get a 2nd. Or maybe the next 1 turn and you get a 3rd. Because you won't get a 4th after that. You'll get a 2nd or 3rd most of the time if everybody's one hit. Just because of the way that the dominoes fall after that. So yeah, it'll definitely be things unlucky like that, but you know, the game is equally unlucky to everybody, and that is something that can, you know, be very comforting, especially when you watch someone else go through it too. So I guess that's just the general thing with that. But yeah, no, that's definitely how you play it. That's what you have to do. And yeah, vicious. It's pretty vicious. It's one of my favorite quotes, the one about the bear. You know, you don't have to be faster than the shark. You just have to be faster than your bleeding friend. Wasn't angry. I'm 31. I don't rage anymore. I giggled. Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like that. there's a bunch of times where I'm just like, that's just really funny to watch. I mean, there was on the PB, there was something where I played like an Annie, and you know, they just destroyed an Olaf. It was really funny to watch, but I can tell that dude was definitely feeling some type of way. Or there's just sometimes funny shit. Like, I mean, I know I wasn't talking much in that last game, but I hit an Elder with Lulu, and I was kind of giggling to myself because Lulu is one of the funniest things. And I'm sure you saw it. There was like 2 fights where Lulu was just not dying, pretty much. And that shit's just funny. It's a video game, and it needs to be funny. So it's always really nice to me to see shit like that. And I mean, ultimately that also fuels like my philosophy with the game. Like, I go to level 9 and play the fun shit because I like playing the fun shit. That'll be what I do when I figure out this set more, which is why I don't really do that strategy a lot when I'm playing the PvE, which I feel like can be really bad for people coming to the channel, because I play vastly different on live versus the PvE, because I have much a greater understanding on live. But, you know, for the time being, I've been enjoying the PvE more. It was very, very fun. I'm just reading through some other stuff real quick, too. Yeah, again, any other questions and stuff, I'm always happy to answer. Alright, let's see. Let's see what... Did they update the past? They did. Alright, well, we have 48,000 riot points. So let's see what we can do with it real quick. I'm still doing my personal things on the side, so trying to... Did I just get a platinum fucking emote? What the fuck? Why did I... Okay. That's funny. That's really funny. I didn't think you could get, like, the specialty things or whatever. What items do you use on Ashe? I think it's, like, Infinity Edge or Giant Slayer, defensive, and then, like, X attack speed item is, like, usually what people do. So if you're up against a lot of, like, Talons or whatever, which you're not on live, there's not, like, Talon isn't shit on live, you'd go for, like, Guardian Angel. But if you're up against a lot of crowd control or Adepts, which is usually what the case is, you'll go for something along the lines of like QSS for your defensive. But Giant Slayer is so fucking good, it's not even funny. And it's also versatile. Like if you have like Giant Slayer, you can get away with going like Jhin or something later if you don't want to completely commit to Ashe. Hand of Justice is also really, really, really good if you wanted to go for something else. But yeah, Ginsu's is good. Runon's is like okay, but usually you can get away with putting Runon's on someone else. But yeah, no. QSS, absolutely beautiful. I think it's completely required, honestly, to have a defensive on Ashe. The thing is, in a lot of Ashe comps, you're also going to be looking to like itemize other things as well. Like you can 100% itemize like multiple people in the Hunter comp. Like you can itemize Aphelios, you can itemize Warwick, and you can itemize Ashe. And even Kindred to some extent too. So it lets you really do a lot of things. Lunar Beast Chunk. Oh, these skins look really fucking cool. Yeah, we'll just buy some Spirit Blossom eggs. We've got 40... Okay. Guess we're not going to buy some Spirit Blossom eggs. You're not going to let me buy stuff with your fake riot points? Okay. Porcelain Bell Swayer. What? That looks so stupid, and I'm going to try and buy it. Alright, I bought it. Alright. Where's my Porcelain Bell Swayer? I don't buy actual, like, skins, so we'll just... This looks so stupid. It looks so absolutely stupid. What is QSS good on? Anyone? Yeah, pretty much. I like QSS because it literally turns one of your champions into like completely like untouchable. Like typically you're gonna put it on your carry that doesn't require 3 item slots. So if you're running Vigar, you're not usually gonna run QSS. But I'll put QSS on whoever is gonna be like usually, I mean, since I run a lot of like melee carries like Yone and fucking Kayn, QSS just like is good on them because they're right in the thick of the combat. But anyone who's going to be CC'd. So like when Aatrox was huge, people would put it on Ashe because Aatrox would ult before QSS would run out. So it would pretty much nullify QSS or Aatrox's effect on Ashe. QSS better than GA on the likes of Jhin and Ashe, right? It really depends. If you have no issue with getting like CC'd on those, then you know you don't really have to worry about it. But it also depends on your item synergies because there can be differences. So like you have to wonder if you're playing Jhin, it's better to have Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and Trap Claw instead of Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and Guardian Angel. Or Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and QSS for the same reason as Trap Claw. Because both of those are made from a Crit Glove component, which gives you bonus damage on Jin's 4th shot, in addition to every other shot, but it really matters on the 4th shot. But then someone like Ashe, who's attacking a whole lot more without crit and maybe not using Infinity Edge, is better with Guardian Angel if you're just counting the AD stat. But if you have like Hand of Justice and QSS, then you have a bunch of dodge also. So it really, really depends, but it's like the differences between them is a whole lot less on like your best in slot items and more so on what items you're actually being given. So if you get 2 GAs, you're gonna put a GA on Ash, like regardless of anything else. If you get a bunch of like crit gloves, you're probably gonna make the Infinity Edge and all that, and then you're gonna probably try and get rid of one on a QSS. Unless that is that you're building like jeweled gauntlets or whatever. The only things that really matter are like if you're playing an Ari, you want to usually have a GA so that she like absolutely 100% will cast. But usually you're gonna just work with whatever items you get, and I think that slamming GA is really safe for a lot of comps. But if you're like forcing Ash, typically you're gonna go for like Giant Slayer or something anyway. So you'll go like Giant Slayer, Hand of Justice, and then literally whatever items you have left over, you're going to try and make them into whatever your defensive item would be. Or, you'd follow that sort of line of thinking. Usually you can try your best to pursue a form of best in slot for any of the champions you're going for, but you really can't assume that you'll get them 100% of the time. So it's always better to just generally make items that are really good, which is why I keep mentioning Hand of Justice, because Hand of Justice works on a ton of comps. Same thing with Giant Slayer. It's a lot better than slamming Infinity Edge, because Infinity Edge does not have a lot of versatility to it compared to things like Giant Slayer. And you don't want to box yourself in. The biggest thing is like you want to be as flexible as you can so that you lower the amount of times that the game can fuck you. If you're trying to play Ash and you don't hit an Ash, but you hit a Sharpshooter Jhin or a Cultist Jhin, might be time to switch, because that could, really change your thing around. If you have a Jhin in your shop and a Riven in your shop, pick them up and then roll again and see if you can hit something else with it. There's a ton of, ways that you can alleviate getting screwed over, and those are just a couple of the ways. And items are the biggest thing, because you can't really choose your items a lot of the times. You get to choose like 3 or 4 items a game, and that's about it. And even those choices are usually going to be your second and third choices, because other people are going to take the things that you want a lot of the time. So it's just about building stuff that's really good with what you have, which is why things like Zephyr is so good, because belts and cloak are the worst thing, like the worst items you can get. But when they combine, they make a pretty good item, which is also the same reason why Frozen Heart fucking sucks, because if you have tiers, you want to make Hand of Justice or Blue Buff, and if you have Vest, you want to make Sunfire, Cape, Titans, or GA. And if you combine those 2 items, which are like B and C tier components, or maybe A and B tier components, then they make like a D and F tier item. It's all just about like really optimizing your items and the situations that you can use them. I guess is the best thing. I have an item guide. I think it's one of my most recent videos where I go over like a tier list format of the items and sort of why, for the same reasons. But that'll likely be outdated very soon, within a week or whatever. But if you would like to check it out, it is still on there. So do you recommend the recommended items on the TFT website? I don't know exactly what website that's referring to. The only thing I've ever used is the meta lists, which is literally just what is winning in like Diamond Plus. Those are the only sites I've ever used, and most of the time I follow those. Or I'll use, let me find one of these, because I was going to make a video again on like where people can find resources for stuff like that and blah blah blah, but like I believe this is the site, and I'm going to do my best to not fucking dox myself here, but we're going to just try and pop this open. This is the only website that I have ever used for my items. Really like the item video, still a little bit confused on the best combo. Yeah, it was a little bit hard to put it all together without having a like 2-hour long video. Like I was blazing through that one and it still came out to like 30-40 minutes. So we're going to hop to this real quick website. Okay, so we'll go to not that one, this one. So this is basically what I'm talking about in terms of the items, and I'll post the link to this as well. But these are like basically the statistic And this is above platinum tier. It used to be diamond plus, but maybe they changed it at the end of this. But it's literally just the item trends, like what items. So if we use Ash as an example, the best 3 items that people are building all the time are Giant Slayer, Hand of Justice, and Quicksilver. Then followed close behindly is Ginsu's and Last Whisper. And you can just like look at this and see some like trends. So you have like Rage Blade on Aphelios, Quicksilver, Hand of Justice, Jeweled Gauntlet, GA, Infinity Edge. So what you're not seeing is things like Frozen Heart. Like you're not gonna find Frozen Heart anywhere on here. And you see these like Sunfire, a bunch of Sunfires on tanks. You know, you have Chalice on Janna. You know, you have a duelist spat. So now you know if you run Janna in your duelist comp, then you know who you can put your duelist spat on almost immediately. More Sunfires, you know, more stuff like this. You know, oh, Shojin is being ran on this, but not on something else. You know, so this is showing you a lot of like things that, you know, could be working. And now you can be like, okay, well, I want to run, you know, Ash, so I know Sunfire could be good, and then these are the other options that I have if I happen to get these other shitty items instead of maybe holding out for them. Or, you know, in this case where Sunfire is the most build thing here, I mean, this can give you a really good, you know, idea of if you hit Sunfire items, slam a Sunfire, and then just move it to, you know, any of these champions. And that's what I'm seeing now. I didn't think Sunfire was still good. I thought Sunfire was like kind of okay now, but it seems to still be the case that if you hit the components for Sunfire, you should be slamming them. So yeah, I will copy and paste this real quick while I blacken my screen. And I will post this in the chat real quick as well. This is, again, like, these are just some resources I've had to dig up and try and find. But this is the one that I personally use and I personally can get behind. So, I don't, you know, I don't really stand by any others besides this one. So, that's really, I guess, what I can say about that. Would the item be different for carries? I mean, I would just honestly look according to what's on there. But the items definitely could be different depending on your carry. But what you'll notice is that there's a trend with the best items. And that is that certain champions will hold items better than others. So, like, I'm going to try and reference this again, see what I can find here. I mean, but, like, with all the Sunfire examples, you know, you could have, like, Tom Kench with the Sunfire, and then later, if you hit a Nunu, and you want to switch into Elderwoods, and you can replace your Tom Kench with a Nunu, well, now your Tom Kench can hold the Sunfire, like that. Or, you know, maybe you have Rage Blade on Aphelios, and then you want to move it to Ash later. Or maybe you keep it on Aphelios because he still has value. It's mostly just about like what is going to be able to maintain you in that same manner. All right, which is the best healing item? I mean, the only healing item is Redemption, right? unless we're talking about like artificial healing, like if you give a Yumi blue buff, which goes into the next question up here. So I'll just the second one real quick because it's relevant to the first one. So Yumi and Janna are fucking broken as shit. Especially because they give you Mystic, and if you have a Spirit with them, they all gain attack speed, which gives them bonus mana. Yumi will give whoever she's healing bonus attack speed, and Janna will give bonus attack damage, in addition to healing and shielding, respectively. So basically, if you run Teemo plus Janna plus Yumi, you have a blind, you have Mystic, which automatically gives you defenses from magic, and then you are healing and all of that. Oh, you mean the offensive healing items. So those are very, very situational. But on the Yumi and Janna thing real quick. I always pick up Jannas and I always pick up Yumis if I can fit them in, but it's usually when you play a Spirit. Janna's really good in a lot of teams because she gives that bonus attack damage, and Yumi's really good because she gives ridiculous amounts of heals and can hold blue buff really well. But in the case of like Bloodthirster and Hextech, or I guess we can add Hand of Justice to this list. Bloodthirster is good for anything that auto attacks, and Hextech is good for anything that uses a lot of abilities. And that's because Bloodthirster will only heal off of auto attacks, and Hextech will, I believe, only heal off of abilities. Hand of Justice, however, will do both. Hand of Justice will either heal off of both, or it will heal off of neither. And that's because of the Hand of Justice roll mechanic. Hand of Justice will basically give you 50-50 chance on either dealing a shit ton of damage or healing a shit ton. So when you have something with a lot of AD, you want to make Bloodthirster. And that's not even very true, because I think the only champion who uses Bloodthirster effectively right now is like Talon, and he kind of fucking sucks. So I would even say, like, unless you have a bunch of swords and you're just trying to get rid of a cloak, that's when you'd make Bloodthirster. But I would even say that Deathblade would be better than Bloodthirster in those scenarios anyway. Gunblade is just way better in the general sense, because there's a lot more champions that can use Gunblade. A couple that come to mind are Kindred, Vigar, Ahri to some extent if you frontline her, and I mean things like Kayn at the end of the game. Really good for all those champions, and meanwhile Bloodthirster has very few uses, and I mean, as I've mentioned before, I like things that are very flexible, very versatile, and that I can constantly be switching between possibly good champions. It's also like kind of okay on Riven, because she's getting shields and she's also healing, and it's also really good on Annie. Hand of Justice is really good on a lot of things. Basically, if you can get any value out of healing or value out of damage, you run it. Hand of Justice is really good on Talon for that reason, because he can just one-shot things. So that's kind of generally for those, I suppose. But on the Yumi and Janna thing again, I mean, if you hit a bunch of Jannas and get a Janna 2 for free, fucking play it, because that's 3 shields for free. If you hit Chosen of either of them, you can make a case that they're one of the best Chosens because of their mana reduction. I think that might be going away here soon, but I mean, for now on live, I think it's still there. And Mystic is really underrated. The thing is, you just have to be ready to have enough frontline with these champions and enough damage with these champions. And that's really the main thing. If you have enough damage and enough frontline to justify putting them in, they're fucking crazy. You know, if you're level 5 and you have Teemo, Janna, Yumi, you have Spirit plus Mystic. If you put in a Vayne, for instance, now you have Dusk. And then if you put in a Thresh, you would have Sharpshooter. And then if you put in a Thresh, you'd have Dusk. So you have your Thresh as a frontline, who also shields. You have Janna, Yumi, who shield and heal, respectively. And then you have Teemo, who blinds. And then you have Vayne, who just gives Sharpshooter, meaning that it buffs Teemo. And then the Dusk altogether makes everything more effective. So that's a really decent opener in a lot of cases, because you have a lot of defense, and you have a lot of damage, and you have a lot of crowd control, and you have a lot of healing and shielding. So that's a very, very good balanced team that I like running a lot of times in the early game. And, you know, as long as you have like frontline Yumi in that case, because all you have is Thresh as the frontline, who's going to blow up instantly without shielding, unless he's level 2 or Chosen. And if you put Yumi in the front line, it's really good because she will usually run away. She'll usually ult herself and then ult someone else far away. and it makes her activate her ult faster, which means that it activates Spirit faster. Those are just sort of other concepts that you have to go with too. You know, you have to really see, is that Thresh able to survive on his own? If not, put a Yuumi up there with him, and then now they both survive, and now they both kind of you know, can last a little bit longer, and then they both get more value. Basically, chosen Yuumi or Janna is yep, I'll take it. Yep, pretty much. I mean, if you get the chosen Mystic of either of them, you kind of can make a case for not running the other one. But if you get like a Spirit chosen, or whatever of Yuumi, you can run 4 Mystics or 4 Spirits so quickly, and 4 Spirit is so very underrated. You know, especially if you get an Ahri at this current patch on the live. So, Spirit, Mystic, Dusk, OP. Wait, is Ahri good? Because she didn't do anything before. Yeah, she's good. She's not really good for like her damage in the Force Spirit sense. She can be if you happen to give her a jeweled gauntlet or something, but most of the time that Force Spirit works off of the mana. So the mana that Ahri generates is going to give Teemo more attack speed. And that just means that, you know, Teemo is going to get stronger. So Ahri's only in there for Teemo's sake. And it's just because, like, Kindred has really low mana, so she doesn't give that much value, especially if you don't have, like, Hunters or things like that. But Ahri, meanwhile, if she happens to ult, even if her ult does, like, virtually no damage, if Teemo's still alive, Teemo will gain, like, a 0.3 or 0.4 attack speed buff, which is absolutely fucking nuts. So I found myself running Kindred all the time. I feel like an overuser. Do you hear all the time pick or choose? If I hit anything like a Jeweled Gauntlet or blue buff, Kindred is absolutely fucking nuts. Especially if you hit the 4 spirits or all that, she can be jumping nonstop. Kindred's very good. But you just have to have a team that can kind of support her a little bit. She's not really good to solo carry in the same sense of something like maybe Teemo. But, I mean, if she gets popping, she can absolutely just tear the entire team apart. I would say she's a whole lot better with a blue buff on her and then maybe a couple AP items if you are fitting a lot of those into your team. And then, you know, obviously your synergies are a little bit important. She definitely needs frontline, and she can benefit from Spirit a whole lot. Blue buff Ahri or no. Blue buff Ahri used to be what you would run if you didn't have GA, but I don't think you ever put blue buff on Ahri anymore. I think if you have a blue buff in any variation of a Spirit comp, you put it on Yuumi because the healing is going to be infinitely more valuable than the quickness that blue buff brings. But that could be a point for debate because I haven't tried a lot of blue buff Ahri. Because it's like, you know, if you don't, then I don't know. I mean, I usually try to not even run Aries if I'm trying to utilize her as like a damage source, unless I have a Guardian Angel anyway. Because I would much rather run something like Riven with blue buff than Ari with blue buff. You know, depending on, you know, synergies and all that. I see too many Lulu healing, or also Jax carries at my rank. Yep. Lulu is absolutely ridiculously busted. It's just absolutely hilarious. But, I mean, yeah, no, you just got to kind of see what actually is going to, I guess maybe not work, but like what can really maybe beat those out sometimes, I guess is the easiest way to put it. It's really hard to beat that whole Lulu thing, but like there are ways to do it. It's just a little bit dicey sometimes, for sure. And I mean, if it's chosen Lulu, usually you're just gonna kind of have to say fuck it. I think it got a little bit like nerfed, but it's still ridiculous, as I just ran it on the last thing and it stopped me from getting 8th. When I have a comp etiquette, who to carry, that will probably just be dependent on like your comp in general. But it's usually going to depend on your items, like what items you've slammed. If you hit like a Gunblade, typically you're going to have a carry of like Vigar or Kindred. Like Gunblade blue buff, Vigar, or Kindred usually. If you hit like a Deathblade, you can look for Warwick, Ashe, Jhin. And this is assuming that you're not like re-rolling at level 5 or whatever for a 3-star 1 cost. I mean, if you hit Ludens in a Nami, you can still play Ludens Nami, but those are, you know, just kind of very, very niche situations. It's just like you have to ask yourself, who could use these items very well, and what champions do I have right now or that I can roll for in the possible future to build a team out of. Can explain what chosen bonuses gets besides being a 2-star right away. They get a bonus stat increase in addition to having 2 of their chosen highlighted trait. So, you know, Duelist Yasuo becomes 2 Duelist, meaning that when Yasuo gets put in alone, he gets 2 Duelist and he gets 1 Exile. So he's already holding the team on his own, which means you can very easily get into 4 or 6 Duelists because of him. But in addition to that, he also gains, I believe, bonus attack damage. Now, this is different between every champion, but usually you can rest assured that whatever bonus you're getting is going to be good. Things like, Exile, Chosen, Kek. There's a couple of those that you can't get Chosen, obviously. Ninja, Exile, basically the one-piece traits you can't get as Chosens. But basically, if you have like an Ari, I believe has AP as her chosen stat buff. If you have like Nunu, I think it's health. If you have Jhin, I believe it's also AD, but it could be attack speed. And then, you know, you have things like Set, which is like he's a tank, but they changed his chosen stat from health to actually more damage. Yeah, chosen Yasuo can end the early game, but also, yeah. And yeah, Exile would be really good, because Exile, you don't run 2 exile for Yone ever, because Yone can't use the second exile. That's why you get Yone at the end of the game in the Duelist comp, and then Yasuo gets stronger. But yeah, no, exile Yasuo. I mean, Duelist Yasuo was the strongest thing in the beginning of the game for a very long time. But then they, you know, adjusted his numbers quite appropriately, and you know, that was definitely good. There should be a chance for all legendaries first carousel. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. There was something generally like that in set 3 that was called Lilac Nebula or Lilac Galaxy or whatever, and it just was not it. Basically, if you got a specific champion or whatever, you won, but then if you didn't, you just fucking lost. And it was just very much not fun. Because basically, I mean, now it would be like if you hit like a Lee Sin or a fucking Lilia, or even, I guess, you know, Zillion. It's like you kind of get fucked by anyone who hit a set. So, not, you know, I would be more willing for it to be like set 2, where you had like the first carousel was always 2 costs. I thought that was really cool. But, you know, I would rather have something a little bit less punishing if you don't get the absolute best thing. Yeah, set carry early game. Favorite early chosen versus favorite late chosen. I would say favorite early chosen would be like, I mean, if you're talking about level 1 or 2, it's like Spirit Teemo. It's like kind of a free win. Favorite late chosen is either Brawler Set or Shade Kane or Adept Yone. For obvious reasons that they're just the best. The only exception would be like Elderwood Ezreal, if you have a Elderwood Spat, in which you would just make Elderwood Set and get Elderwood 3 for free. I think those are generally it. Kind of funny when you force 3 of 1 natures while everyone has 1. Yeah. Yeah. There's been plenty of times where I'll end the game with a ton of force of natures, and then you just fucking lose because, like, you can't afford enough good shit, and it kind of sucks. But, I mean, you can also win with a bunch of those too because of just overwhelming the opponent. Note on the Teemo love. Hell yeah. Yeah, Teemo's, I mean, the thing with Teemo that makes him strong is the fact that he counters so many teams early. Like, that's really, I mean, it's really, like, the thing that kind of puts him over everyone else, because he completely counters, like, duelists. He, you know, completely counters, like, things like Jhin. So, I mean, it's really, like, that's his biggest thing. And then the fact that you can play sharpshooters in your mid game if you haven't hit the sharpshooters. You could also play, you know, spirits, and then he just, you know, does his shit faster. You know, there's a bunch of stuff like that that's absolutely, you know, nuts. Excuse me. I knew that one was coming. I could feel it. And so I was just trying to, like, hold my breath. I gave Warlord to my tier 3 Teemo, easy, LL. I mean, it's definitely stats. He also fits in my death by 1,000 paper cuts as I joke about it, hell yeah. Teemo sharp with Janna, Yumi Kindred, yep, exactly. That's pretty much it. Like it's like things like that is really how you can diversify your early game. Like absolutely like nothing else. Cuz I mean stuff like that is just, you know, I don't know how else to put it. But you know. Yeah, I definitely like Teemo a lot. You know, even if he can be a little bit less fun in general. But I mean, it's all how much like it's the reason like I don't like Nami for the reasons that like is just not very fun. But then you have like Teemo, who is like also not very fun. But I feel like Teemo's not like infuriating to play against as much as Nami was with Ludens. Teemo was annoying, but like Nami, she just immediately killed things. And that was just like so fucking not fun at all. Let's see. I don't know. Any other questions though? I'm still trying to do my fucking shit on the side, so. Alright. I think I figured out everything I needed to do on the side. For now. It's all I'm going to do. I'll figure out everything else off stream when I'm not wasting everyone else's time. So, let's see. We'll pop in. Play at least one more game. At least. And we can test out some more stuff. See what's up. And not have my last game thrown by, you know, an hour-long monkey wrench or whatever. Alright, here we go. I had another piece of steak I cooked this morning. Oh boy. Released more PvE notes. Alright, let's see what we got here.
Yep.
Alright,
I
so
feel a bit safer too.
it's looking like there's a lot of stuff here that's not actually that bad. Also, we just hit a free fucking level 2 brand. Cool. So, he's trying to make Lucky Lanterns happen middle of the stage instead of at stage 1. I don't know if I like that. Brawlers are losing HP. Brain's doing more damage. Alright, I don't hate these changes.
Show 'em what you can do.
I got this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like the biggest fan of some of the changes, but I don't hate them.
Yep. I feel a bit safer too.
Keeper Elise. Yeah, this is probably fine. Lantern should come at the beginning stage where people naturally see crouch like neutrals and level up. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. I like them better at the early stages because, like right here, I would have been able to save some items. Like if the Lucky Lantern would have hit here, I wouldn't have had to slam Death Cap. I could have possibly slammed Jeweled Gauntlet. So I'm not a fan of that, but I think we can get, I suppose.
Show 'em what you can do.
I'm gonna definitely look to win streak this though, because I've leveled. We did end up losing one, which fucking sucks. Game doesn't have to be fully structured by having things like lanterns only coming out in blank X stages. Allows for more planned out gameplay. Yeah. Yeah, I personally like when I can actually predict stuff, but I mean, ultimately, it's up to the game designers. There's a lot of things I would change, but good news is their cost blue buff. I definitely fucked that up a little bit, but it's okay. I just need to get rid of the images.
Embrace the night.
Ah, yes, the fortune chosen.
Where to, book?
It's what I've always wanted. So I mean, generally, this build that I have in this set is something kind of what I was talking about earlier. Albeit just without Dusk, you have Enlightened. And ironically, it's beating the dude who had Dragon Soul and Aurelion Soul in without losing a unit.
Yep.
Absolutely
I feel
beautiful.
a bit safer too.
Yep. Paper cuts comp. It's time. Again, beating relatively decent people with, you know, no chosen, no level 2s.
Yep. I feel a bit safer too.
Warlord chosen, I don't think I can use that. I'm willing to grab all this shit though. Because why not? I mean, could get switched into cultist if I really wanted to. But I feel like this is just better to counter a lot of, you know, the teams that are in the game right now. Well, that's convenient. Casually hitting sharpshooter Ezreal, or sharpshooter fucking Kimo. Same thing.
With ease.
Paper cuts OP. And now we get Siphoner. So now my Teemo will heal for the damage that he does. Yep, looks like you're losing to your... Not, yep. 100%. Because, the damage from Teemo comes all over time. So he does no damage up until all of his damage starts cycling. And then, you know, once he's blinding, nobody else is getting, you know, their damage off. But now I have Siphoner, I mean, I'm going to heal a little bit of damage out, too. So this is going to be really funny. And this guy does have 4 keepers, so maybe this causes us some issues. But then we also have this healing going on, so... Feel so much better about my gameplay only being a plat. That runs similar to this all the time. You're way better than me. Yeah, it's mostly once you get to like plat and all that, the biggest thing you're going to have an issue with is consistency. Like the absolute hardest thing about TFT is just being able to play consistently all the time. Like, and that's not even an exaggeration. Like, the hardest thing is really just being able to know what you're doing and then act on it 100% of the time. Because my biggest thing when I was having problems with climbing was, like, I would say out loud, I'm like, oh, this doesn't seem like the best thing I could be doing right now, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'd do it, and then I'd lose. And I'd be like, okay, I know why I lost that. And then I'd still proceed to do it anyway. Oh, this doesn't seem like the best idea, but we're going to do it anyway. And then I'd end up losing, which is how I came to never play Fortune again, because every time I played Fortune, I'd just lose. So the biggest thing about, like, once you get, I think, to, like, Plat 2, you have to absolutely tighten up your gameplay. Basically, the people in Plat and Diamond are also watching streams, so they're going to be able to capitalize on any mistakes that you make, and you just have to give them less mistakes to capitalize on. Yeah, that's so me. Yep. It is very much just like exactly like how it goes. Like it's just a lot of I'm just like, and I mean, you'll see me do it and I'll be like, yeah, that's why I lost that. I just have to remember to not do that again, and then, you know, God forbid, I'll do it again. Got gold for a whole 10 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it really is just like, you know, trying to really, really explore and figure the things out. But it is by no means easy to actually get to that point. One of the guys who answers to me at work is Diamond 4, and my goal is to get ahead of him. I believe in you. I am believing the whole time. Okay, this Siphoner Teemo shit that I have going on right now is actually, like, really, really good. I did not expect it to be this good, but it's definitely pretty good. Like, I know Siphoner is really good. Like, I really like Siphoner, but I was just like, eh. Well, I mean, now it's fucking, I guess maybe the Jewel Gauntlet was helping too, who knows. But yeah, I mean, hitting Diamond and all that is definitely doable. The biggest thing that it is again, just tightening up with the gameplay, and then, like, realizing that you can no longer play single player. Like, you're no longer able to just be like, okay, well, you know, I'm playing the game now, and then no one else is a factor. Like, you have to be constantly thinking of, oh, this guy probably knows this exact same thing that I know. Like, you can't really hope to not have people exploiting your weaknesses. I'm gonna put in the double Yumi because it's funny. So I could probably GA something. Do I just GA Yumi? Is that the move? I could GA Yumi or GA fucking, what's his fuck Vlad. But I think GA Yumi is gonna be better. And I could probably even move this Irelia back here. Do we still get the bonuses for the spirits? Okay, yeah, I think we do. I'll pick up the Diana. The Diana. Gee, you made my mind blown. Yeah, I mean, who else could it go on? Because eventually, like, if I do choose to keep in the Irelia, I don't want to sell the level 2 Irelia. Plus, I mean, if Yumi's gonna heal, she's gonna heal. Might as well. Quite frankly, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this comp right now. So we're just living right now. I'm just gonna level, chill out, collect some extra stuff, picking up all the 4 costs along the way, see if I can do anything with them. Could probably even Giant's Belt Vlad or Yumi. It'd go to Yumi if I was gonna not make anything with it. It'd go to Vlad if I was gonna slam something. I'm willing to just, like, hold it until I need it out, honestly. Alright, well. This guy has a Olaf with Titans and the one thing that counters my Teemo. Oh, he's also like no gold anyway, so that's fine. I'll never refer to him as anything, but what's this fucking Vlad from now on? Yep. I very much enjoy Vlad. Okay. We have, like, a lot of decent stuff here. I'm willing to go level 8 next turn and possibly switch into some variation of Aurelion Soul, but it is a little bit iffy if I don't have, like, a lot of mages. So may not. Who knows? Not really anything I could build out of this belt anyway, so we'll just see. So I might try to grab like a rod or something. If I grab a rod, we'll see what's up. Because if I grab a rod, I can make another item for Aurelian Soul. Then we could really, you know, decide. But more healing. Ragnar Viking. Oh, this is actually kind of a. Okay, that guy has 4 Mystic too. Okay, so that's why I'm not able to get anywhere near those guys. This could actually just be a spat. Exclusively because it's an expensive thing that might have usefulness in a turn or two. All right, well now we're gonna go for fucking something here that's a little bit better. Because I don't even have the option of the rod. We're probably not going to go to level 8 here. Because now, I mean, it's not really as good. Because if we had better items, we could definitely just immediately throttle it. But yeah, at this point, it's just kind of like, fuck it.
Wolf strikes.
Still trying to figure out what we're trying to do here anyway. I'll hold the... What's her fuck, though? Because it is possible for me to go some variation of Xayah, I think. I don't know exactly what she uses, but I'm feeling some of the items are probably useful. What turn do you usually go 8 on? It would be this turn or 5-1, depending on econ. It's better to wait till 5-1, but I mean, if I lose the next 2, I'm going to be down to 20 health, and that just does not seem like it would be good. So I'm just operating under the assumption that I still beat like half of the people in this game, so that I won't completely die out within the next couple of turns. But if I wasn't, I'd have to go now, and then I'd have to roll down now, and I'd probably donkey roll for the next 4 turns or something. But usually the thing is like you go 7 at 4-1 and then 8 at 5-1. That's usually the idea. But, you know, they're just recommendations anyway. I'm actually wondering if putting these in is better. It might be. I think it might be. I'm willing to give up Siphoner for now. I can give up Siphoner and then we'll put in Kale and see if she can hold a little bit stronger. Alright, I don't think it had any difference. Yeah, no, I lose that. Didn't look like it had any difference there, but we'll see. Just making sure 50 gold is max interest. Yep. If you have 60 gold, you'll still only get 5 interest gold. We can probably level this turn. Always going to sell the Tino, though. And then we can sell this. And we'll just figure something out here. We'll roll next turn. Because, I mean, we have items for mages. We have, you know, some variation of Kale. If I happen to hit any nice Chosens or Legendaries, we'll incorporate them. And we'll just figure it out. Alright, well, we have a Divine Spat. It's looking a whole lot like a Kale build. Alright, well, that's a level 2 Olaf, so that's going to have to find its way in the build.
Wolf strikes.
It's a Brawler Chosen. Okay, well, that's going to go. You can go in. Okay, so we're going to give this to you. I suppose we can give this to you. We're just gonna give Olaf fucking Z0 out portal. Say fuck it. I guess that to you as well. And right now we're just using Olaf because he's a fucking level 2 Olaf. Like, at this point, it's free. I'm not gonna take the Brawler chosen though. I got better plans. Okay, so we can get rid of you. Pop you in. Okay, well now we have another Olaf. What the fuck? Okay. So we're gonna have to start taking things out here. Second Olaf. I guess we can give these things to you. Give you these. And we'll give you these. Still trying to figure this out. I have no idea what I'm building though. I'm gonna probably drop the kills. And this. Alright. Yone seems really fucking weak though. Still trying to not completely get fucked here.
I shall show them what it is to fall.
And I know they got rid of like some of the strength from Slayer, but it's got to be worth this. That's for blue buff. I guess Janna. You can go... I don't really want the Lee Sin either. I don't really want the Morgana. Teemo dedication stream. Damn straight. Let's see. I have literally no idea what I could even use here. I mean, it could just be the Samira. Just goes to fucking Samira. Okay, there it goes. Duelist spat. Nah. You know what? We're just gonna go for the Morello. Not like anything specific that could use it, but I mean, fuck it, Morello. I think I'm probably fine to like roll a little bit. Okay, we have Dragon Soul Siphoner here. Okay, that's an upgrade. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna pop this in. That actually has no bearing on anything, so we're gonna do this. So we have now Siphoners. In addition to whatever the fuck else we have. So I'm looking to go to level 9 here. At some point. I kind of don't have HP for it anymore. I mean, if I win this one, then... you know, we get it, but if not, then a little bit of an oopsie, I suppose. I can pop these in. Is this lagging? Yep, this is definitely lagging. Is it that time already? Is it that time already for the shit to fucking give up on me when I have like almost a level 3 Olaf? Don't do this to me. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. If I win this one, I get a level 3 Olaf. Don't do this to me. Come on, I've got 2 level 2 Olafs and a fucking Nico box. You're not doing this to me right now. Alright, yep, there it is. There it is. F's in the chat, boys. Right, how could you? How could you, Riot? That is absolutely tragic. Look at this team. It's so fucking beefy. Like, come on now. Alright. Well, let's see. Let's see if it is popping out. Yep, there it is. We get the lovely trying to reconnect. It looks like it's about time that they fucking implement the shit or whatever. So I'm just going to try and immediately relog, see if it works. That is so tragic. So very tragic. Come on. Open up. Come on. Alright. Let's try it. Looks like the PB is going to be down. Unless. Haha, unless. Yeah, no, that's over with. Alright. Yep, there it is. Okay, so, yeah, this will be the end of the stream for now. Might hop on later. If you guys enjoyed, I always appreciate subscribing. I don't know if you guys get anything out of the subscribing, but it helps me. Again, I apologize for the fucking hour-long, fucking, like, me dealing with other shit, but I'm going to finish up dealing with that other shit off stream, and then we are going to be able to have some better, uninterrupted, things like that. So I'll let you guys, you know, I mean, you can follow the Discord if you want. You can, you know, turn on notifications, and then you'll see when I'm popping up. But, you know, I'm going to be doing my best to stream every day, and then when the new patch, or the new set, I say, drops, I'll have the first, you know, basic, complete guide to TFT for set 4.5 on there. So, even if you are aware of the stuff, you know, there might be some stuff in there that you might, like, learn about, including the new systems and all that in place. But, anyway, again, appreciate you guys for watching, as always,